This is Mission Control Houston. Good morning. You are getting a look from the balcony camera of Mission Control Moscow in the town of Koryov. Here, flight controllers are overseeing the Progress vehicle. It's Progress 73, about to rendezvous to the International Space Station shortly. At this time, Progress is looking for an on-time rendezvous after taking a textbook trip 2 orbits around the Earth to the International Space Station. We're tracking still at this time about 10:35 a.m. Central Time for a rendezvous and docking to the Pirs docking compartment of the International Space Station. This is the International Space Station Flight Control Room. Teams here are overseeing the ultimate destination of Progress today. That is, of course, the International Space Station. Taking over from the launch team, this is the Orbit 2 team. And leading Orbit 2 is Flight Director Rebecca Wingfield. She's leading the teams monitoring the systems aboard the International Space Station. The crew aboard is hard at work, talking to Tamara York right to the right there of Rebecca Wingfield. She's the Capcom for today, talking with the crew aboard the International Space Station. Just under 50 minutes away from docking at this point, the Expedition 60 crew working through their normal day-to-day tasks. Again, Progress has a 2-orbit rendezvous profile to meet up with the International Space Station. Launch occurred just a little over 2.5 hours ago. Lifting off from Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome right on time, 7 a.m. Central Time. Exactly 7:10 and 46 seconds a.m. Central Time. Engines lit and Progress lifted off from the pad, making an 8-minute, 45-second ascent into orbit of the Progress. Progress 73 on its way in the fast lane to the International Space Station. This, of course, recorded commentary from just over 2.5 hours ago. Everything looking good so far. Those 4 strap-on boosters providing the initial lift of the vehicle will burn for 1 minute 58 seconds. Again, that 9-minute ascent put it into orbit, separated from the 3rd stage, and made a steep inclination to meet up with the International Space Station 2 orbits later. Both the International Space Station and Progress tracking just about 264 statute miles over the Earth. Now, Space Station is passing over Uruguay and about to head northeast over Brazil.
Station Houston on 2 for Nick. Just want to give you a heads up before you get into your Dragon Ops. If you could give us a confirmation on the window shutters, we'd appreciate it.
Progress under 10 kilometers away from the station at this time. You just heard a call from Capcom Tamara York talking with the crew of the International Space Station, Nick Hague, Expedition 60 flight engineer, NASA astronaut. One of the milestones for a Progress 2 dock to the International Space Station is to close the shutters to the cupola window. Nick Hague, of course, one of the 6 crew members aboard the station right now. Nick Hague himself, at the top right corner of this graphic you can see here, going clockwise around the Expedition 60 crew, includes Luca Parmitano of the European Space Agency, Alexander Skvortsov of Roscosmos, Drew Morgan of NASA, Christina Koch of NASA, and commander of the International Space Station for Expedition 60, Alexey Ovchinin. Expedition 60 cosmonauts Alexey Ovchinin and Alexander Skvortsov are currently in the Russian segment of the International Space Station, overseeing the docking of Progress as it makes its way closer to the International Space Station, now under 8,500 meters away from the space station. Progress's rendezvous profile has had some impulse burns to get it closer to the International Space Station. There's a series of 6. 3 of them have been completed so far.
I completed.
In just about 10 minutes, we should be expecting that 4th burn. Again, there's going to be 3 more burns, impulse burns 4, 5, and 6. That'll get it into a good position for what's called a fly-around. During the fly-around, Progress will orient itself with the International Space Station, getting in line right in front of the Pirs docking compartment. This is on the Earth-facing side of the International Space Station, the Russian segment of it. After that fly-around, it'll start a mode called station keeping. This will dampen out the relative motion between the International Space Station and the Progress, and get it right in line with that Pirs docking compartment so that they are flying in sequence. And shortly after that station keeping mode, Progress will begin its final approach, of course with cosmonauts Alexey Ovchinin and Alexander Skvortsov monitoring everything along the way, along with the flight control teams in Mission Control Moscow.
Moscow Station, Space Ground 1. The total activation command is armed and prepared. Station Moscow on Space Ground 1, we copy that the total command is armed.
Again, cosmonauts Alexey Ovchinin and Alexander Skvortsov in the Russian segment of the International Space Station monitoring progress as approach. Progress now just under 6 kilometers away from the station, approaching at a rate just under 10 meters per second. They're confirming they have good communication with the Progress vehicle. Flight controllers in Russian Mission Control Center in Koryov, Russia, as well as here in Mission Control Houston, tracking the point where Progress will meet up with the International Space Station. We're still looking for an on-time rendezvous, looking at 10:35 a.m. Central Time. The Progress is a little over 4 kilometers away from the space station at this point. Still getting good telemetry from Progress. As Progress gets a little bit closer, we might start getting some views from the camera of Progress. Once it comes up, it's usually a black and white image with crosshairs. And it'll have some telemetry data on it as it approaches the International Space Station. Progress now passing 3 kilometers away from the International Space Station, still approaching at a rate of about 9 meters per second. Everything's still looking good. The communication between Progress and the International Space Station providing good telemetry so far. Again, there are 3 more impulse burns. That'll get it in position, ready to dock to the International Space Station. Of course, starting with a fly around and then station keeping to line up with the docking port. That is the Pirs docking compartment of the space station. The next milestone for that impulse burn will be in just about 3 minutes. Here you see a graphic of all the visiting vehicle traffic we have on board so far. Progress 73 will dock, you can see it to the right. That's right in front of the Pirs docking compartment. Other vehicles on the Russian side of the station include the 2 Soyuz vehicles that brought the 6 crew members aboard the International Space Station. Soyuz MS-12 docked to the Roscosmos module, and Soyuz MS-13 to the aft end, or the back end, of the Zvezda module. And then 2 U.S. commercial cargo vehicles on the USOS side of the International Space Station. Dragon CRS-18 docked to the Earth-facing side of the Harmony module at the forward end of the space station. That arrived at the station very recently, last Saturday, with 5,000 pounds of cargo. And Northrop Grumman's Cygnus, on its 11th resupply mission, docked to the Earth-facing side of the Unity module, nearing the end of its mission, scheduled to undock and separate from the International Space Station next Tuesday, August 6th.
Station with System Ground 1.
На связи.
Sasha, go ahead.
Игорь, я так понимаю, как только картинка появится, я включу запись.
Igor, do you understand it correctly that as soon as I start getting the image, then I will activate the recording? Yes, I confirm, Sasha.
Getting our first views of Progress from some of the cameras of the International Space Station. Flight control teams here maneuvering the cameras to try to get a good glimpse of it. Getting a nice view from one of our high-definition external cameras. Progress just under 2 kilometers away at this point.
Moscow Station, I'm receiving the image on the screen, so I'm activating recording. Yes, it's a go.
Есть включение записи.
The recording is on, and the frame and all other parameters are nominal.
And here's a view of the Progress itself. Right in the crosshairs there is the view from Progress, right pointed at the International Space Station. One of the prominent features, clearly visible, a little bit brighter than the rest, are those radiators.
Of the ODF 20.
По готовности приступаем к тесту Тору в 21 странице.
When you are ready, you can proceed to Toru test at page 21. I sent the command to activate the Toru. The command went through, and I'm starting Toru testing at page 21.
Выполняйте.
It's a go from Moscow.
Так, контролирую.
So, on the POBPS, all the keys are released. I'm activating the network and the power of controllers. So POBPS исходная is on, or initial BPS is on. The LEDs are on. Also, BPS initial LEDs are illuminated. So the movable parts of row and root hand controllers are in the operational position, and I'm ready to start RUO test. It's a go from Moscow to perform RUO rotational and controller test. So down, the LEDs are on, up, neutral is not illuminated, and LEDs are on. Now to the left is the same, and to the right is the same. Everything is nominal. Now counterclockwise, neutral is off. Now clockwise, LEDs are on. Everything is nominal. RUO test is complete. No issues. I'm ready to start root translational controller test. It's a go. So the test route has started. Down, everything is nominal. Upwards, everything is nominal. To the left, all LEDs are on, nominal. To the right, everything is nominal. Now I'm pulling the controller, neutral is off, and I'm pushing the controller, everything is nominal, no issues, so the route test is complete. Copy all, Alexey.
Right now you're hearing interpretation of the Russian cosmonauts in the Russian segment of the International Space Station. That's Alexey, Ovchinin, and Alexander Skvortsov. They're at the control panel for a system called Toru. This Toru system would provide communication from the International Space Station to Progress, and in the event that the automated rendezvous and docking system were to fail, the two cosmonauts can take control of the Progress vehicle and remotely control the vehicle manually for a safe docking to the International Space Station. Now they're verifying some of the tests and making sure all the controls are working should they need it, though everything looking still on track, following all the milestones by the book so far for a docking of Progress to the International Space Station at 10:35 a.m. Central. International Space Station becoming clearer and clearer into view. Some of the sun glistening off of the structure there. International Space Station and Progress flying 259 statute miles just west off the coast of Africa.
So the AGC is in the position 1 Mach. I'm deactivating
Progress slowing down its approach just under 3 meters per second at this point.
Illuminated. We can see 1 Mach, and we confirm
about 850 meters away from station at this time.
So Toru hardware test complete. Toru is in hot backup. Copy, Alexey. You can go to page 22 of the ODF, Toru ODF. Copy, going to page 22. Currently, the range is 790 meters. The rate is 3.39. It is a closing rate. Copy, Alexey. Station Moscow, space to ground 1. Go ahead on space to ground 1.
Для контроля текущей дальности рекомендую использовать маску и таблицу или линейку.
So you can use the ruler or the overlay in order to control the range and rate. I have prepared the ruler and the overlay. Moscow.
Still getting great views of Progress, now disappearing behind some of the solar panels. The Toru system, in case it was needed for a manual control of remote manual control of Progress, was verified and, if needed, is ready to go. Again, there are 6 impulse burns to get it closer to the International Space Station. 5 of them have been complete. The 6th is upcoming. Progress just about 500 meters away from the space station at this point, slowing down to a little more than 1 meter per second at this point. You're seeing the west coast of Africa right now. That's the western coast of Morocco, right behind the Progress 73. Still getting great views of Progress as it flies. The International Space Station flies 260 statute miles right over the northern coast of Morocco. The sixth and final impulse burn has been completed. Next will be a series of rapid milestones that will line up Progress to eventually dock to the International Space Station. The first of those milestones is the fly-around mode.
The range is 394 meters. We confirm the fly-around has started.
And Progress is now in fly-around mode. In this mode, the Progress will automatically fly to position itself in line right in front of the Pirs docking compartment. Now maneuvering itself just a little over 300 meters away from the space station at this point. Space station itself 261 statute miles over the northern coast of Algeria.
Moscow, the range is 312 meters. The closing rate is 0.81. The fly around is going on. Copy. 312 is the range and the closing rate minus 0.81.
Progress about 240 meters away from the space station.
So the range is 260 meters and the closing rate 0.8.
Flying right over some of the islands west off the coast of Italy right now.
Minus 0.57.
Again, the fly-around mode lines the Progress up with its ultimate destination, the Pirs docking compartment of the International Space Station. The next mode after that will be station keeping. In this mode, it'll dampen out the relative motion between the International Space Station and the Progress itself to where they're flying nearly perfectly in sync. And once they are, it'll line it up perfectly for a final approach, where the Progress can slowly move in to its docking at the Pirs docking compartment. Again, still tracking 10:35 a.m. Central. Right in the crosshairs of the International Space Station, you can see off to the top right of those crosshairs, that's the Pirs docking compartment.
The vehicle
Lots of telemetry from this view. At the bottom left in Cyrillic, you can see the
maneuver.
what looks like a P, that's Cyrillic for R.
The
range and the range rate.
Meters, 190, and the closing rate 0.06, and we are on the axis. The vehicle is on the axis, and we are standing by for station keeping.
Crew reading good telemetry from Progress, matching with what the Progress is giving them. Just under 200 meters away from the station at this point, you can see lining up for docking with right in the crosshairs there is the Pirs docking compartment. Again, still in fly-around mode. The next milestone will be that station keeping mode to fly perfectly in sync with the International Space Station at 17,500 miles per hour. Space Station and Progress still in fly-around mode, 261 statute miles right over Hungary.
Station Moscow, Space to Ground 1, you can send the final approach or pre-chow command from PPS panel. Copy, I'm activating PPS initial. The LEDs are on. I'm activating Rabota activation, and I'm activating display 44, and so I have pre-chow final approach. LEDs are illuminated. Everything is fine and correct. Monitor the final approach.
Progress flying wonderfully so far, completing its fly around and station keeping. Station keeping looked good. They have a go to for final approach.
Continue working page 23 of the ODF. Copy. I'm going to page 23, Moscow.
Now Progress making its way towards the Pirs docking compartment. Everything looking good so far. Cosmonauts in the Russian segment of the International Space Station monitoring its approach. Progress making its way towards that Pirs docking compartment at a rate of just about 0.8 meters per second.
The range is 140 meters, Moscow, and the closing rate 0.83. Copy 140 and minus 0.83.
Progress 130 meters away and closing.
The range is 110 meters, and the closing in at 0.66. Copy 110, 0.66.
Great approach so far. The crew monitoring progress as it approaches slowly. Now just about 0.4 meters per second at this point.
The range is
75 meters away.
Meters, the closing rate 04. So copy 79 meters range, and the target is 2/3 of the square below of the crosshairs. Copy. So, Alexey, this is Solovyov. How do you copy me? Good afternoon. Yes, I copy you loud and clear. I just wanted to check the comm.
Дальность 60 метров, скорость 0,23 на сближение. Мишень по-прежнему.
Coming up on 50 meters away from the space station. Pirs docking compartment right in the crosshairs of progress as it makes its slow approach for docking.
And the target is still in the same position, 2/3 of the square lower than the crosshairs. Copy, so 60 is the range.
"50 meters away as the ultraflex solar rays of the Cygnus vehicle come into view. Just under 50 kilometers away, space station and Progress about to enter into an orbital nighttime as it crosses over
and the closing rate 0.
the border of northern Kazakhstan.
Copy 46 and 07.
Just 2 orbits later, right after launch.
Okay, the image is rather dark, Moscow, so I will use AGC. We'll try to brighten it up a little bit. Copy, Alexey.
Switching to a view from the balcony camera of Mission Control Moscow over in Koryov.
On the panel.
Losing video communication from the International Space Station should be regained shortly. Those TDRS satellites that provide video and audio communications doing a handover, going from satellite to satellite.
So we are approaching the mark of 30 meters. At 30 meters mark, I will send the command BPS initial and activation, работа, operation, and also breakout uninhibited. So I have sent the BPS initial command activating работа operation. Also, LEDs are on, and the breakout is uninhibited. And I have the message from SSVP, and LEDs are on. Copy, Alexey.
Communications are back. Now saying 25 meters away from the space station. Good approach so far as we enter into an orbital sunset.
The visual range is about 17 meters, Moscow. Copy, 17 meters. And I have received the instruction.
You see the thrusters firing during Progress's approach to the Pirs docking compartment. Now about 20 meters away from the space station. Space station itself, 260 statute miles over northern Kazakhstan.
Размер мишени 1,5 клетки, 10 метров.
The range is 10 meters, so there is a little bit of roll, and the square dimension is 1.5. Copy that, there is a small roll bias.
Everything looking good so far. The crew is reporting progress about 10 meters away from the space station. The solar panels and a little bit of the body of the Soyuz MS-12 docked to the Rosviet module of the space station coming into view now. Still getting a little bit of glint from the sun as the space station enters into an orbital nighttime over the eastern border of Kazakhstan.
7 meters. The roll bias is still on. Copy, so 6 meters is the range according to your visual perception.
The range is approximately 3 meters. The crosshairs are aligned, and they almost match what we see in the on the electronic display, electronic crosshairs. Copy all.
Crew reporting 3 meters away from the station. Stand by for contact and capture.
Yeah.
Unintelligible.
Есть цепка.
Hard mate is confirmed. 15, 29, 20. Copy all. 15, 29, 20. Contact and hard mate are confirmed.
And the crew confirmed contact and capture hard mate of the Progress vehicle to the International Space Station, 10:29 a.m. Central Time. Station and Progress flying 259 statute miles over northwest China.
Go ahead on space to ground 1. So right now you are going to proceed with the following operations. Page 27 for hard mate. Probe detection is in work. Copy. Page 27. After the hard mate.
Again, that contact and capture 10:29 a.m. Central Time.
Those steps are complete.
Progress docked to the Pirs docking compartment of the International Space Station. The crew will now work to drive the hooks for a hard mate. After those hooks are driven, we'll sign off. Progress will be officially docked to the International Space Station just in time as we enter into an orbital nighttime, the sun disappearing over the horizon. Again, Progress docked to the International Space Station's Pirs docking compartment. We have a good contact and capture. Those folks are driving to hard mate the two vehicles. After the hard mate, the crew will work to pressurize the compartment between the Pirs docking compartment and the Progress, perform some leak checks, and reveal the more than 5,400 pounds of cargo inside. Of course, part of that will be dry cargo that the crew will actually extract. Other cargo includes fuel and water and oxygen. Confirmation that those hooks are driving to hard mate the two vehicles. Stand by for confirmation of a good hard mate. And we have confirmation that those hooks are closed. Progress 73 now hard mated to the Pirs docking compartment. Successful flight of the vehicle to the International Space Station. A great journey for Progress, lifted off on time, 7:10 a.m. Central Time. 3 hours and 19 minutes later, two orbits around the Earth made its way and for contact and capture, docking to the International Space Station with 5,400 pounds of cargo inside.
Alexander.
A fast-track flight of 5,400 pounds of cargo to the space station. Space station now 257 statute miles over China. At the time of capture, that was 10:29 a.m. Central Time. The station was 259 statute miles over northwestern China. Again, a 3-hour and 19-minute journey.
This is the ISS. Baikonur, go ahead.
The crew will begin a series of leak checks and pressurization between the two vehicles, of course the International Space Station and the Progress vehicle, and begin cargo transfer activities later this afternoon Central Time, evening Greenwich Mean Time, the time the astronauts operate aboard the International Space Station. A great journey of Progress from the Baikonur Cosmodrome to the International Space Station in just over 3 hours. That'll wrap up our coverage of this mission. This is Mission Control Houston.
At all. Okay, copy. All right, all right. How are you feeling? Are you in a good mood, in good spirits? Dmitry, we are feeling very well. Everything is nominal on board. We have a lot of operations on board that we need to perform, and progress just brought a lot of new tasks for us, and we really don't have time to get bored here. Everything is great. Copy all. Thank you.